Hi everyone! So because Garrick Ravi here is probably the most popular element of my videos, I thought I would talk a little bit about how this little god came to be in my life. I am so blessed and so lucky to have him. Yes, you. You are so perfect. Yeah. So, it was a little bit later in life that I met my husband. I think I was 29 when we met and 30 when we got married. I'd have to double check that, but something around there. So not super late, but still, it was a later start on family than what I had been hoping for. But it was worth the wait because he's an incredible husband and is really perfect for me. And if you've seen some of our videos where we talk about aspects of faith and religion together, I think you'll see that we balance each other well. So because we had started a little bit later, we started trying immediately to get pregnant. And I was very shocked to find that it was difficult. I wasn't getting pregnant. This is probably not accurate, but it felt like all the other women in my family are super fertile and have no trouble. And I'm sure that there is some trouble that doesn't get talked about a lot, but a lot of women in my family have not had trouble getting pregnant. For example, my grandmother, who had my mother when she was 40, and that was the middle of 5 children. So we kept trying and trying and trying, and I think it was after the first 6 months. Usually they tell you after 6 months when you're after 35, check into it, and I was under 35, but I think it was still about 6 months when we started doing testing, and we went to a fertility clinic to see if we could find out if something was going on. It might have been longer than that. Yeah. I did not keep records of this, but I probably could go back through my blog post and figure out the timeline. But anyway, after some amount of time of failing, we went to a fertility clinic, and we found out that I had an underactive thyroid, which causes me to gain weight really easily, and a lot of times diet and exercise do not make me lose weight. So that explains some stuff that had been going on, which is very frustrating, and I got on medication for that. And then also that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is an extremely common cause of infertility. So the fertility clinic that I went to wanted to put me right away onto high intervention, like IUI, IVF, those kind of things. And I didn't feel comfortable leaping right to that. I wanted to learn a little bit more about the condition and sort of get myself into better shape. Also, financially, those things are ridiculously expensive. But I felt like I just had to be a mother. I felt such a strong longing for a baby, and I just didn't know how I was going to survive if I couldn't be a mom. And of course, there are other ways to be a mom, and I'm not discounting that we could have and would have eventually looked at adoption and foster to adopt and other things like that. But first I researched about PCOS, and I went on a very intensive diet that was basically like the diet you would do for if you had diabetes, because PCOS is an insulin resistance condition, so it responds to those same kind of things, low carb, low sugar, and that was a very challenging diet, but I stuck with it. I got my cycles back. So basically with polycystic ovarian syndrome, I wasn't ovulating. I wasn't releasing an egg at all. So I got that working again, but we still weren't getting pregnant. After about 2.5 years of trying and failing and just being devastated every single month, I went to India for the second time with my dad. The first time that we had gone to India, I had well, I hadn't. My mom had asked for a blessing from our guru for a husband for me, and I met my amazing husband later that year. So this time, 4 years later, when I was going, I asked His Holiness for a blessing to have a child, and he held up his hand and he said, "I bless you," and it was, I don't know, it felt really nice. It felt like he was clearing something out. I don't know. I don't tend to be a very woo-woo kind of person, so I don't know. I'm skeptical of such things, but the result is that I got pregnant later that year, and everything went incredibly smoothly, and we had this perfectly healthy, sweet, darling little boy who is just the model baby. He is so sweet and so perfect, and I'm so grateful that this wonderful soul came into our lives. So yeah, it was a long, hard road to have this beautiful baby, but he's here now, and I'm so content and so happy. I would love to have more children, and maybe eventually we will, but I also know that if Garrick Ravi is our only child, then I will be satisfied and content with that, and be grateful to my guru, Sri Bharati Tirtha, and to the gods, and yeah, he makes my a delight. Yeah, you say hi to everybody. Say hi to people. Say hi. Hi. So you'll see a lot more of him in my videos.